Hello and welcome back to the Alchemy of Film. I'm Lottie, and in this episode we're going to talk about how you can work smoothly with a video crew. So commissioning video can be a little bit of a minefield if you haven't done it before. Or if you have done it before, then you'll probably know there are a number of different things that go into it when you work with a film crew. Some of the key things that you need to be aware of is firstly the planning. Planning is everything, and I can't stress enough how important the planning stages are. Pre-production when you're working with a film crew is absolutely key because you can iron out absolutely everything that you need prior to the production day. Now this is really important because if you've got very good clear pre-production paperwork, planning and documentation, it means that when the crew turns up to site on the filming day, or if you're filming in a studio, it should hopefully go seamlessly. That said, you are working with crew, you're working with people, sometimes you're working with technical products or objects or with environments that are hazardous, and then of course you've got all the technical kit going on as well. So sometimes things don't always go to plan, and that's where when you have planned in advance, you can always revert back to that and help if something needs to change super last minute. So when you're working with a film crew, some of the things that you'll need to find out is what kind of requirements the crew will need. So will they need somewhere to store their kit, for example, or somewhere where they can plug in their batteries and charge while they're on site? If they're coming to do some drone work, do you have all the RAMS documents in place? So these are all the risk assessments and method statements that make up all of that pre-production paperwork. Do they know the hazards on site? Are they aware of those sorts of things? So this is where as a company you'd look to provide a company induction and let the crew know of any safety requirements that they may need. Once the crew have enabled to site, then obviously the key thing is the content. So this is something that is crucial in advance that you've got to think about and plan. So it's looking through what kind of content is the crew there to capture. So for example, are you working from a very fixed script? So it's very much documented step-by-step processes on what you need to achieve. Or you're looking at doing something that's a bit more ad-lib. Is the crew there just to capture documentary style, the day unfolding as a fly on the wall sort of documentary? Are they there doing some interview pieces? That's another thing that they might be doing. So if they're interviewing someone, does the interviewer know that they're going to be on site and at what time and what time they're meeting the crew? Are they well briefed in what they're going to be talking about? Along with the content, what kind of style is the crew doing? So is there a set style that they're trying to film for? If you've got a style in mind, for example. So you might have watched some videos before and think, I really like this style. So has that been documented with the crew prior to the shoot? So some shoots are very sort of regimented, much slower, and then some other shoots might be much more quick, sort of what we class as like a run and gun style. So this is just quick capture that can be cut together in a very quick edit. They have very different purposes, so it's quite important initially before the shoot to set what the expectation is from your side in terms of what you want to achieve and capture as part of your visual content. One of the big things that we find too in terms of how to work with a film crew to make it go smoothly is really good client collaboration. So this is where one of our clients will be present on site on the filming day and is provided some time all day to work with the crew, to work with the requirements. So it's very much a collaboration process between the crew and the client. That way ideas can be shared, or if something comes up or someone has a different way of looking at things, it can all be discussed there and then and adjusted on site. And what we find is the best outputs that we get and the best video content is when we've worked in this way. Particularly if the site is difficult to access or it has certain types of process requirements on site, if there's a good operations manager or a site manager on site, again, there to give their detailed time and attention to the project, we often find that that really helps manage the content and just make it so much better. So there you have it. They are the top tips in terms of working with a film crew and how to make it run smooth and get the best out of the crew when they come to site.